Mingles with Kraken. Why have I been MIA? Let's talk about that. Let's get cracking. We're going to cover a lot of ground today. I got a lot to talk about, and just a brief update and kind of an explanation why I haven't been posting much. A lot has been going on in my life. So with that said, first thing you may notice here in the front is I'm building a trailer. I posted a teaser of boxes in the back of my Bronco, and I'm building a trailer. When I sold my pickup truck, I have lost my ability for the Home Depot Lowe's runs and picking up mulch, flowers, etc., and things like that. So this is going to take the place. I normally buy a trailer in a box so I could build it myself, and then I'll lay down a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. This particular one is galvanized steel, and it's 4 foot by 8 foot, and then you have stake pockets all the way around so I can build up and put some ladder stakes around it to carry more gear and have more tie down points. I'll eventually put a chalk in the front for motorcycles. Its load capacity is 1,000 pounds. I got it for a handy price from a company that is, believe it or not, based out of Canada, and it is WestbrookTrailers, and they are marketed under the brand name of Sterling here in the United States. They are sold in all the major big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. I want to galvanize because I don't want to have to paint it and mess with it. I'm not going to use it that often. So that's what I was targeting. I've had the painted ones in the past, and they're all made in China, and the paint flakes off within the first year, and I get to spend a weekend or two of my life stripping it and repainting it. So I'm not going to go that route this time. So I'm looking forward to this build. It is definitely a quality build so far. I'll give my final thoughts on it after I've built it and used it. Some of the components, the axle, the wheels and tires, they're made in China, but for the most part, the hardware is top shelf. And like I said, galvanized steel, and the price was right. I happened to catch it on sale. I'll post a pic up here for what I paid for it. I don't think it's on sale at this time at this particular store, but there you go. I'll let you know how that pans out. So that's what's in the box. Mrs. Kraken and I had an unexpected holiday to take. We went to Vegas for a week. Her sister and soon-to-be brother-in-law decided to get married in Las Vegas and do the Elvis wedding thing. I'm sure two Digby's would approve of that. Same with Jack's over in Australia. But they had a fabulous wedding. They gave me permission to share a quick pic of the wedding and Elvis. And we just had a grand old time. I highly recommend it. In this particular chapel, for what it's worth, Bon Jovi got married to his wife in this very chapel, so pretty cool. While I was on the left coast, I reached out to some of my good friends, and one of my very, very best friends, Colby, and his lovely wife, Heather, drove out from Southern California to meet us and spend a night at the hotel, have a nice meal, and catch a show with us. We caught a Cirque du Soleil show called the Mad Apple, and I'm not going to really comment on that. You can read the reviews if you're interested in the play. The important thing here is this man drove 4 hours each way with his lovely wife and bought us dinner, and he had to pay for his hotel. And a person cannot ask for a better friend in life than Colby and Heather. And Mrs. Kraken and I are going to go visit SoCal in the near future as we both want to hit up Disneyland. Yeah, I'm a Disney-aholic. I love the whole Disneyland theme. Thank you so much to Colby and Heather. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much. So after all the hustle and bustle of Vegas and getting on the plane, man, it's an ordeal to travel in the air. I am burnt out on it between Australia and now this trip. I don't want to be flying anytime in the near future. I started to feel really kind of rough around the edges when I got on the plane and the day before. When I got off the plane, I have a full-blown upper respiratory infection. I'm probably going to lose my voice during this video. Unfortunately, Mrs. Kraken caught COVID for bonus points, so between the two of us, we're having to keep it separated at home. And we had a surprise visitor that was lined up to come visit us at 𝕒𝕤𝕠𝕦𝕟 the very next day after we got back, and that was SpyderWayne. So he was already camped out a mile from the house in his brand new Can-Am Spyder with his trailer. And he rolled up, and unfortunately I was so under the weather I was unable to take him on some of the back roads. So the best I could offer was coffee and conversation during his stay here, and I hope, Wayne, it was worth your time and trouble to come down. I certainly enjoyed your company, and I thank you for putting up with me under the circumstances. Thank you for coming visiting, Wayne. It means a lot to me. In the midst of all this travel and Elvis and Cirque du Soleil and everything, I dropped a couple of Harley Davidson videos. One on Harley Davidson Frederick that absolutely blew up. I believe it's at 90,000 views. That's unheard of for this puny channel. And the other one was in reference to the labor rates regarding the union with Harley Davidson, and that one got 4,000 views. Between the two of them, almost 95,000 views. I am overwhelmed with emails and replies to get back to. There's several of you that are saying, hey, I emailed you, I haven't heard back from you. Folks, please be patient. I'm a one-man shit show, and I'm trying to get through all of this. I have thousands of replies to get to. So I apologize on my behalf. There's only so much of Eric to go around between travel and being under the weather, as well as entertaining and trying to get content up. Sooner or later, I'd like to get on my bikes and actually get to ride them in the near future. So any more onboarding pirates, I'm going to be buzz off. I'm going to be off riding. So I'm joking, of course. The interesting thing about those two videos is, man, I caught a lot of heat and a lot of praise on those videos. When you talk about unions and labor, I'm neither for it or against it. I don't know enough about it. You would be a very unwise decision to argue any point about a discussion that you are not well educated on. I can see a reason for unions in some areas. In some areas I can see where maybe it's outlived its youthfulness. So somewhere in between that is a gray area that America is passionate about. So half the people were fired up about that video, and the other half were saying thumbs up. For a sizable increase that they received, they must have been in the rears. A lot of the larger corporations were playing the COVID card for labor contract agreements, saying, hey, we're trying to keep our head afloat. We're going to have to hold off any raises for a while. By the size of that particular pay increase, they were definitely in the rears. So I have a feeling the labor unions are well-deserved on that particular raise. My simple thoughts on that video. In other news, I did a CPAP, riding with CPAP. I'll post a link up here. I don't use one, but I felt it was worth kicking around for the many of people that do use one, and a company, as you may or may not know, easylonger, reached out to me and said, hey, do a review on our portable CPAP battery. And it may apply to your motorcyclist that you're speaking to, which I did, and I gave that battery away on my channel. Spin forward a month later, easylonger reached out to me again and said, hey, we're getting some returns at Amazon. Would you be interested in checking them out for us so we can see if there's a quality control issue or a shipping and packing material issue so we can get it sorted? And I'm like, how many batteries are we talking about? And they said about 12. And I said, okay, I'll do that. Here came the first batch. About a dozen showed up, and I tested each and every one of these batteries. I did a load testing on them, and some are the larger 94,000 milliamp, and the other is the 42,000 milliamp for the small ones. And I did a load test on each one of them, so in every case the batteries were fine. I think it was a case of customers buying it and saying, you know, welcome to Amazon. People look at it and say, I don't like the color, and return it. Or, gee, the battery's too heavy. Return it and go get something else. I think these batteries, being LiPos, are the type of batteries they are, fall in a category, hazmat category, where they can't resell them. So they were sitting in Amazon's warehouse, and this is a Chinese-based company, and it's going to cost them too much to ship them back to China. That's why they were asking Kraken's garage to check them out. I have since given away that dozen of batteries to many of you that were in on that contest. I've reached out to many of you privately, and I will continue to do so till I get rid of the rest of these batteries. Now, the downswing is they wound up sending me 33 batteries. Ladies and gentlemen, that's almost $10,000 worth of batteries. And I wasn't quite expecting that. This is turning into a job to test each and one of these, reach out to these people, package them up, and mail each and every one of them out, having a private conversation explaining what's going down with this whole scenario. I just got another email from them today, and I'm going to push back on it. They're like, that's great, we're glad you're checking them out. How about you shoot a video of how you're testing them? Now this is going to get under my skin. You know, I'm bending over backwards for this company. I'm not gaining a dime. I don't want to make a dime off this company's misfortune with this battery incident, but I am taking one for the team. So I'm going to push back and say, you know what? I'm not doing any more testing. You're welcome to send me a shipping label and I'll ship them wherever you want. What I'm smelling here is you don't trust that I'm actually doing this. And yes, I'm going to send a link to this video to easylonger to let them know how I feel. I'm rather hot about it. I have put so much work into this. Moving forward, I will continue to move these batteries. If you have any interest in the large or the small one, privately reach out to me, and it is my choice on who gets them, and not everybody. I can't serve the whole world, but I will do my best. And the people that will get them are the Patreons of this channel that show up on a regular basis and actually watch my content and don't just dip in for the free giveaways and then ghost me. I'm not down with that, sorry. So enough about that. I'm getting riled up and I'll lose my voice just talking about CPAP batteries right now. In other news, Big Moz sent me a picture from Australia, Moz42, and there's an ongoing joke. I learned when I was hanging out with 𝕒𝕣𝕒𝕜, I noticed these birds with a giant hawk bill. And I'm like, wow, that's a cool looking bird. And Leanne said, oh, that's a bin chicken. Or maybe it was Gary that said it. I'm like, what the hell's a bin chicken? Well, bin is what they call trash cans in Australia. So basically, it's a trash chicken. So wherever you see a trash bin, you'll find these birds in there rummaging around looking for their next meal. I thought it was hilarious, and I shared that story with Moz when I met him in Cairns, and he tracked down a pair of socks for me with the mighty bin chickens on them. And I will proudly rock these, Moz. Thank you very much. You are the man. Nowhere on God's green earth did I ever expect to receive bin chicken socks. Thank you, my brother. I posted a picture on Instagram, YouTube, and also on Facebook. My new swag got here. That's been eagerly awaited. They are all very small. I don't like taxing people when I send out my swag. I don't want to send them a sticker this big that takes up so much real estate of their toolbox or top box or their sticker board. So these are all roughly about 2 inches, give or take. And something a little different in there. I had some keychains made that are very small, about the size of a nickel, with just my logo on it. And then I also have some of my, just my logo that I put on each side of my fairing as just a small Krakenization of my bike. So if you want any of that swag, let me know down below. Send me a private message on Instagram, or you can email me at krakensgarage@gmail.com, and I will drop some swag to you in the mail. That, of course, is for free. So hit me up. In other news of a big fail, very briefly, I tried to do a time-lapse video of the eclipse. I'll throw it up here. All I got was blazing sunshine, so nothing was happening exciting here in Virginia, so thumbs down on that. And in closing, right before I went to Vegas, I went and got a hair trim with my girl Carla, and she gave me another pigtail to mail off to the lady that I send my hair to that makes kids wigs for cancer patients or children who have alopecia. I will mail this off to her and be sure that Carla gets credit for it. This is a ask to my viewers. If you have hair, I don't care if it's gray. I don't care if it's been dyed. If it is 8 inches long, mail it to me. I will reimburse you your cost of your mail. postal so I can mail it to this lady to help this lady do what she does best, and that's doing God's work, helping these children feel human again. So if you are so inclined and you happen to have some hair laying around, send it to Kraken's Garage at P.O. Box 231, Mineral, Virginia 23117. I'll be happy to reimburse your postage. Please let me know and hit me up. Thank you for your consideration. So the next video I'm going to make is finishing up this trailer. I'll do a time lapse of it, and then we'll move on to more bike-oriented stuff. That's going to close out this video. On the outtake, I'm going to show Wayne taking off at 5:30 in the morning to head up the road to get back to New York with his mighty steed, Hi-Ho Silver. And I thank you again for joining us. Wayne, we enjoyed your company immensely. And thank you everyone for joining me today, and my apologies for the late upload. And remember, folks, go riding because it's good for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. One try. Take care.